Have you ever looked at your pump and see insulin on board, and suddenly you feel frozen because you were on your way out the door to go to the gym, maybe after dinner you wanted to take a walk, but now you feel like those plans can't happen because that insulin on board is scaring you that there's still more insulin coming into the system, as we all know that is a fact. But it freezes you and it prevents you from doing what you want to do. And in most cases, it's exercise. But if insulin on board causes you to freeze and isolate you and prevent you from doing what you want to do, this is something to consider. It's important to reframe this because insulin on board is information. It's not a stop sign. It tells you to plan and to not panic. So a few things to consider and a few gentle reminders. Number one, how much insulin is on board? When was it delivered? Can you see in your pump report or with the MDI system, however that you deliver your insulin, do you remember or do you have that data to tell you that within an hour, maybe within 2 hours, whatever that time frame is where the insulin is going to be working and then done and clearing your system. So these are really important things. Timing is everything. How much insulin? And how much is left on board? Two key things to consider. When was it delivered? Again, this goes right back to understanding the facts and the data to really make a smart, good judgment call on whether or not this is something to be concerned with, or is it something that, just like all times that we eat, deliver insulin, and go about our day, that it's no different than any other episode or mealtime. What direction is the glucose trending? So again, if you're looking at your insulin on board and you see maybe you've got 1 or 2 units hanging in there and that still hasn't been delivered, then looking at whether it's a finger stick or if you're on a CGM, looking at your glucose trends. So again, but marrying that with how much it makes sense. So are you at a steady state? Are you heading down? So maybe you just ate dinner and your glucose is rising based on what you just consumed. So does it make sense that the insulin on board is going to counter and the timing of the food you just ate and the timing of or the state of where your glucose is? Should you consume carbs? Again, based on where we are, where our glucose is, where we're going, and the fact that you may still be feeling a little frozen or fearful based on what you want to do, let's say in the next hour. So ask yourself, should I have a simple fast-acting carb? 15 grams, 20 grams? Do I need 25 grams? Asking yourself, does this make sense? And is this what my body is asking for right now? Or should it be paired with a protein and fat, which is the way we like to eat, right? Where it gives it a more steady rise. Again, looking at the trends of your glucose patterns to make the best decision. What can you do? Some things to consider. Again, these could just take you a few minutes just to get your mind set around what's important, where you are, and what does your body need right now. So let's say you're on your way out. You wanted to go do that hour-long fitness class at the gym, or maybe it was a bike ride or a walk around the neighborhood after dinner. Choose to reduce the intensity. Again, doing some things that are going to, in theory, burn a little less glucose as opposed to a more fast-acting or time spent working out. And in this case, shorten the activity, right? So if you wanted to, say, an hour class, well, maybe you can shorten it to a 30-minute bout of exercise. Can you delay it 20 to 30 minutes? So this is always a good option to just kind of sit. And if you have the time and the availability to sit and see how your body is, again, processing the food that you have eaten and taking the insulin in, what your glucose is doing in response to all these variables. So that 20 to 30 minutes is a good time to sit, take a deep breath, wait for things to kind of unfold and to see where you are. That is going to make you feel safer. It's a decision you can have control over and a choice around, and because this is something that you can choose to do or not to do. And if you decide to go, right, take along a 20 to 30 gram carb if needed. Again, safety is always key. And the bigger picture here is learning how your body responds and to build confidence. The more that we do things and practice it and prove to ourselves that this is possible, the rest can be a whole lot easier because we want to enjoy what we do. We don't want a fear of insulin being in the system. Prevent us from living life and to do some activities and to get out the door and all of that. But again, safety first, understanding the data, understanding where you are, what your body needs, because you can still do what makes you happy. Very, very important without fear or control standing in your way. More tips on how to navigate blood sugar and doing so throughout the chaotic hormone fluctuations as well. That's another variable. You can visit right here in the description to purchase my book, Highs, Lows, and Hormones. You can also listen to episodes on this topic on the Type 1 and Midlife podcast and learn more about our Type 1 and Midlife coaching circle. And be sure to follow the show and share this with other women who need this, who are also struggling. And maybe you've had conversations with friends that live with diabetes that have this fear and feel frozen when it comes to this data that they're seeing and observing, and they don't know what to do or how to respond. But you've got this.